Hi, this is Sally's Book Club, where we bring you the best books from around the world every day. Today's book recommendation is The Memory Illusion. Is your memory reliable? Why do people who experience the same event end up remembering different stories? Why can't you remember if you turned off the lights, but easily recall 9/11s and the smoking Twin Towers? Why do crime victims often struggle to remember the perpetrator's face? Can our memories really be altered? The Memory Illusion reveals the secrets about memory. The author, Dr. Julia Shaw, specializes in criminology and criminal psychology, but she prefers to call herself a memory hacker. She writes a memory column series for Scientific American explaining how memory misleads people. Published in 2016, The Memory Illusion has been translated into 14 languages. German newspaper Rheinische Post praised, "This book should be recommended to all journalists, police officers, prosecutors, judges, and anyone working with personal or others' memories." The book's 10 chapters explore 3 key questions. 1. What factors influence our memory? 2. Does memory manipulation really exist? 3. How can we reduce memory illusions? First question. What factors affect our memory? No one's memory is completely reliable. Many factors influence accuracy. For example, brain development and diseases. Babies don't remember birth experiences due to underdeveloped brains. Alzheimer's patients also lose past memories. We'll focus on 5 key factors affecting memory. First factor, our perception. Simply put, how we observe the world shapes our memories. Imagine a nearsighted person visiting Shanghai's Bund at night without glasses. They'd see blurry river views and indistinct colors. When describing the Bund later, they might fail to recall how many spheres are on the Oriental Pearl Tower. This shows how perception affects memory. We often perceive the world based on our past experiences. If you've never learned about colors or species names, seeing a pond of blooming lotuses would just be unidentified floating objects with strong contrast and peculiar smells, not the poetic endless green leaves under sky and uniquely red flowers reflecting sunlight. The second factor affecting our memory is arousal level. As a criminal psychology consultant, the author frequently assesses eyewitness testimony reliability. Are these eyewitnesses lying? Not necessarily. Their testimony errors can relate to arousal levels during the crime. Psychological arousal refers to physiological changes, like increased heart rate and sweating caused by stress or emotional stimulation. Imagine someone staring down a criminal's gun barrel. Their stress would be overwhelming. This survival pressure narrows memory focus to key threatening details, known as weapon focus effect. What does this mean? Even face-to-face with criminals, they'd only register the gun, no other details. The gun becomes the sole memory, demonstrating weapon focus effect. Later recalling, they couldn't accurately describe the criminal's height or build. However, stress and arousal aren't always negative. We best remember movies. Most emotional scenes showing arousal enhances memory. This demonstrates arousal's memory-boosting potential. But extreme arousal can create indelible traumatic memories. Traumatic moments become flashbulb memories. vividly preserved with intense emotions. These fragmented memories of images, emotions, and sensations persistently replay. For war veterans or disaster survivors, these memories can haunt them as PTSD. Therefore, emotions and trauma as sources of heightened arousal also affect our memories. The third factor affecting our memory is attention. Clearly, when distracted, you're more likely to forget or misremember things. The book describes an interesting psychological phenomenon called change blindness. In this experiment, volunteers watched a video of students passing balls while counting passes. A person in gorilla costume walked through mid-video, but 46% volunteers missed it due to focused attention on the ball. Still, think your memory is infallible. Similar change blindness occurs frequently in daily life. Can you recall what your colleague wore during your hour-long conversation today? Gentlemen, do you consistently notice when female colleagues change hairstyles? We often assume women are more sensitive to appearance changes. This relates to memory patterns. Women's greater familiarity with fashion helps them notice and remember such details. The fourth memory-affecting factor is subjective preference. Human psychology's complexity stems largely from subjective perceptions. Einstein famously said, "An hour sitting with a pretty girl feels like a minute, but a minute sitting on hot stove feels longer than an hour." Pleasant experiences fly by while painful ones drag, showing subjective time perception. Familiar routes feel quicker than unfamiliar ones. So when lost, we consider if someone says 5 minutes away. We also have memory preferences for different life stages. Most people preferentially recall events from ages 10 to 30. Undoubtedly, adolescence and early adulthood contain more passion and memorable experiences. Research shows women generally develop self-awareness at 13-14 years old, while men at 15-19. This formative self-discovery phase becomes cherished memories, offering important insights. Be kind to your children during these years. These memories will be revisited throughout their lives. The fifth and most fatal factor, overconfidence in memory accuracy. Our self-centered memory perspective creates superiority illusions. We overestimate positive traits and underestimate negative ones. Most people believe they're smarter and more knowledgeable than others. Housework surveys reveal this cognitive bias. Women report doing 90% of chores, while men claim 50%, both overestimating their contributions. Everyone believes they do more actual work. Survivorship bias distorts memory by focusing on successes while ignoring failures. Media glorifies Drato's success stories, like Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, ignoring countless unseen failures. This creates collective false memory that talent and effort guarantee success. To summarize the 5 memory factors. 1. Perception shapes memory content. 2. Arousal. Emotions and trauma leave deep imprints. 3. Attention determines what gets remembered or ignored. 4. Subjective bias. Meaningful memories persist longer. 5. Overconfidence. Never assume your memory equals truth. Now we explore an intriguing topic. Does memory manipulation really exist? Memory's inherent malleability makes manipulation possible. Let's examine 3 alleged memory manipulation techniques and their validity. First, date, rape, drugs, memory erasing substances do exist. Flunitrazepam, a benzodiazepine, inhibits protein synthesis crucial for memory consolidation. This creates anterograde amnesia, preventing new memory formation post-digestion. However, it doesn't affect existing memories. Retrograde amnesia.
Forgetting existing memories would require TV-style head trauma, extremely dangerous.
Like dramatic amnesia from accidental head injury in shows.
Warning! Head trauma causes brain damage more often than amnesia.
Can we erase memories without drugs or injury? Enter hypnosis myths.
National Geographic once okayed hypnosis, making people forget names.
But Dr. Julia Shaw debunks hypnosis as pseudoscience.
You might protest. I know someone who was hypnotized.
Consider, does hypnosis create responsiveness, or do suggestible people enable it? TV participants are prescreened, high hypnotizable individuals. Researchers assess hypnotic susceptibility using specific tools. Example test. Staring at patterns while being told this is a mouse. If you genuinely perceive a mouse pattern under suggestion, you pass this hypnotic susceptibility test. We all know suggestible people who fall for scams despite knowing better. Psychologists prefer terms like suggestibility or compliance over hypnosis. Hypnosis only works on highly suggestible believers. To prevent memory tampering by hypnotists, simply disbelieve and disobey.
Third technique, brainwashing.
Like hypnosis, brainwashing requires specific group dynamics.
Psychiatrist William Sargent described brainwashing. Any belief can be implanted in human minds. Existing beliefs can be completely reversed through coercive persuasion. This connects to Nazi atrocities, terrorist groups, and cult brainwashing.
Such mental manipulation exploits our social conformity instincts. We often abandon principles to fit into social groups. This differs from clinical brainwashing. Psychologists prefer mental influence over brainwashing for subconscious behavioral changes. Daily life contains subliminal ads using emotional repetition. These ads bombard us into forced familiarity.
Internet's viral earworm songs get stuck in our heads for years.
This might be explained by priming effect, a memory phenomenon. Priming makes past experiences unconsciously influence present actions.
You only realize being influenced when earworms loop endlessly or brand preferences emerge inexplicably.
Beyond data rapid drugs, hypnosis, and brainwashing, are there other memory alteration methods?
Surprisingly, yes, there are.
The book describes implanting artificial memories in rats via hippocampal electrical stimulation. Rats' brains contain hippocampus structures with place cells. These place cells activate differently in various locations. Location of triggers, cell group A. Researchers first recorded these neural activity patterns during rat REM sleep, stimulating pleasure centers when place cell A activated.
Artificial pleasure memories were forcibly implanted.
Awake rats then lingered. longer. At location A, don't panic. Human memory systems are vastly more complex. Human memory decoding implantation remains unlikely for 50+ years. Focus on existing psychological manipulation techniques instead. Psychologists already manipulate memories effectively. Dr. Shah details false memory implantation experiments. First, obtaining volunteers' childhood details, ages 11-14 from relatives. Establishing trust through accurate personal knowledge.
Then introducing fabricated events, police interrogations, animal attacks, financial losses.
Initial denials transformed through guided visualization exercises. Volunteers essentially imagine. The researcher then encouraged volunteers to continue visualization exercises at home for a week. When volunteers returned to the lab, many began recalling the event with added details. Some described a blue sky with falling leaves and stealing a sea-dew during follow-up sessions. After second lab recall sessions, volunteers practiced another 7 days at home. By the third lab visit, over 70% developed full false memories. They confidently narrated detailed accounts of non-existent events. Conclusion: people easily confuse imagined scenarios with real memories under social pressure. This experiment highlights why therapists' ethics matter crucially.
Philip Zimbardo's case. A 12-year-old girl treated for migraines was falsely diagnosed with repressed abuse memories. The therapist repeatedly suggested paternal abuse, despite no evidence. The girl eventually internalized these false memories through therapy. Her father was wrongly prosecuted. She entered foster care.
Later realizing the memories were fabricated, she cleared her father's name. Freud originated repressed memories through psychoanalysis, not scientific research. Modern psychology discredits Freud's theories, yet many therapists still adhere to them.
Notably, repressed memory therapy often involves hypnosis techniques.
Crucially, anyone can implant false memories, not just professionals.
Dr. Julia Shaw recounts a story of 4.5-year-old Murray, whose frequent bedwetting worried his mother. Having a brother with childhood abuse history, she feared similar trauma. After learning daycare, staff changed Murray's wet clothes months prior. The mother became convinced of staff molestation.
She filed a police report leading to staff arrest and investigation of other potential victims.
Panicked parents and persistently guided police interviews elicited abuse claims from 40+ children. The staff member, his mother and sister, all daycare workers, were imprisoned.
After 14 years, legal flaws surfaced. Convictions against the women were overturned. The author reflects. Understanding memory's nature. I reject legal decisions based solely on recollection. Finally, Internet's memory-altering potential is addressed. Digital media fundamentally reshapes cognition and collective memory formation. Social media preserves personal data to validate, extend biological memory capacity,
simultaneously increasing memory distortion risks through information overload.
Memory conformity phenomenon. Social contagion of recollection. Excessive social media use blurs personal vs. collective memory boundaries. Memory source. Confusion leads to unconscious appropriation of others' experience. Thus our memories blend accurate and fabricated details. Daniel Wagner, UV memory expert, describes our era's transactive memory systems, collectively formed updated digital group memory. The impact of internet information sharing on our memories extends far beyond these aspects. Digital amnesia. Search engines reduce our need to store knowledge internally, relying on Google Baidu instead. Social media's highlight reel effect creates self-image distortions through selective photo sharing. Platforms algorithmically reinforce memories, aligning with popular trends, distorting personal significance. Viral trends. Influencer-related memories skew personal realities to constant exposure. You might exclaim, the ultimate memory manipulator is our Stas cakes. Part 2, Summary. 1. Fluon induces anterograde amnesia, post-conception. 2. Hypnosis. Brainwashing requires specific social contexts and susceptible individuals. 3. Skilled memory retrieval techniques can implant false recollections. 4. Internet actively reshapes collective memory formation. Third question. How to minimize memory illusions. First, combat overconfidence, primary source of memory errors. Social scientists. Johnson Fowler. Overconfidence is humanity's most persistent cognitive bias. Distrust your memory's infallibility. No one remembers everything accurately. Externalize memories using planners, digital tools for reliable recall and accuracy. Second, cultivate healthy skepticism. Seek corroborating evidence for memories. Acknowledge subjective biases distorting information. Perception. Memories self-modify to fit social expectations and evolve over time. Thus, questioning memory accuracy becomes essential and natural. People often misunderstand skepticism as distrust. Some equate skepticism with criticizing others to assert superiority. True skepticism differs fundamentally from mere criticism. Skeptics seek evidence for, against hypotheses. Critics focus on flaws while ignoring proofs. Embrace evidence-based skepticism to avoid false memory traps. Third, enhance memory reliability through cognitive training despite inherent fragility. Puzzle games may boost short-term recall, but not overall cognition. The memory palace method, shown in TV shows, is effective. Construct familiar mental spaces like your bedroom for information storage. Categorize memories within these mental spaces for organized retrieval. Use rhymes, acronyms, mental imagery, like pi equals 3.14159, remembered as Mountain's Peak. One temple, one pot of wine. Traditional Chinese solar terms, remembered through poetic verses. Apply these principles to memorize crucial lifelong information. Leverage. The bizarreness effect. Strange things get remembered best. Pair mundane information with absurd associations for durability. Now, don't imagine a pink elephant. This pink elephant will linger in your mind throughout the episode. Future associations with this book may trigger pink elephant recalls. Bizarre content sticks because memory thrives on novel associations. Absurdity sparks. Endless questions contrasting normal reality. Why? A pink elephant in the room. Such questions enhance retention. The author uses this example to demonstrate associative memory mechanisms. Your brain now wonders, would pink elephant fur feel softer? Thus, even seemingly simple, bizarre events contain vast informational depth. Vivid, multisensory, bizarre memories have higher recall potential through more sensory triggers. Imagine a vaniscented pink elephant angrily belly dancing. Such absurdity enhances retention. Sensory. Bizarre interactions create stronger memory imprints. Finally, embrace memory's uncertainty. Life's unfairness and human imperfection require psychological flexibility. Inaccurate memories sometimes protect us. Optimists filter darkness to maintain mental sunshine. Modified memories can fuel creativity, liberating us from rigid realities. While facts remain fixed, we choose interpretive frameworks to craft personal happiness. Crucially, understand everyone's memory constructs unique realities. Cherish your narrative while respecting others' versions. Understanding memory's subjectivity eliminates futile truth arguments. Part 3. Summary concludes here. Memory optimization methods. 1. Use external tools, notebooks, apps. 2. Evidence-based skepticism. 3. Conceivable training. Mnemonics. 4. Embrace memory's adaptive uncertainty. Imperfect memories serve protective and happiness-enhancing functions. Final book. Summary. Part 1. 5 memory influencers: perception, arousal, attention, bias, overconfidence. Part 2. Memory manipulation techniques: Lunatsbeam, hypnosis, coercive persuasion, digital distortion. Part 3. Accuracy strategies: external tools, critical thinking, mental training, acceptance of imperfection. Whether you have good or bad memory, remember the process itself holds more beauty than the outcome. It's the crystallization of our unique experiences, sensory emotions, and knowledge levels working together. Memory shapes who we are today. This concludes our exploration of the memory illusion. Keynotes are below the audio. See you tomorrow.